Okay, you're live. You see me yet?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
You're live, but it may not go live for me until
Okay,
another
I'm gonna
time.
share this link, this one.
Okay, wait a minute. I see. Oh, good. It's working. I hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, it's fixed. What
What
did
was
we
the?
do? I want we well, I guess it was that real tech one. Oh my
Was it
God.
kind of?
So what should I? Okay, let me copy and paste to send. Okay, let me tell her it's working now. Uh, reply, reply. Wait, where's she going? Can you see me?
I see and hear you.
Okay,
Loud
I'm
and
typing it. Uh, okay, I sent her a message, and okay, so now how do we let people know? Even though it did let you know, right?
yeah, because I was waiting.
Because you were waiting. Okay, so let me come back to you. Okay. How? Oh my God, how do I let people? Can you hear? Oh, Blair's B can hear you now. Okay, she's there. Okay. Okay, great. Now I have to wait for everyone to maybe they'll get a notification and come back. Hold on. Are you logged in?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You're is that's you under Everett? Why Everett? Right?
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Right.
Okay, I can hear myself. Okay, so should we hold on, let me come back to you. Should we hang up?
I think so.
Okay, we'll hang up. Okay, and then we'll just have discussion. Hopefully, people will jump in, and you all can just ask questions. Okay.
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 All
Thanks
right.
a lot. Okay. Bye. Bye. Okay. Okay. Antawala. So that's I have Antawala, and then I have Blair B. You can all hear me. Oh, that's so good. But I feel so bad because I feel like I wasted so much time. But I'll just start talking, and then people can maybe, oh my God, I don't know how I can just share this with people or save it, and then they can jump on, and or they can just view it later on our discussions. So let's start off with questions. Then I'm just going to start the live because we don't have to be on here long, but I know Blair B had some questions because you were on my let me make sure is nope, hold on, let's go back and just type them, can you, okay, you can still hear me, you can just answer basic, okay, I can just answer basic questions, others will watch replay. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, so let me go here to make sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'll start off with basic questions that I was asked was how did I start? What made me decide to come to Europe? And I chose Paris, France for the first time, my first time abroad. And what made me choose it, I had wrote down a list of a lot of reasons, just in case this happens, which no one asked me questions. And it's all started when the first this reason what made me real want to leave America is the no quality of life. You start feeling like you're going to drown. You just start feeling like if you're just working more than 8 hours a day, it's a cycle. We start doing the same thing. Wait, I will try to make it okay. Someone's just now saying I'm on now. But yeah, I just felt like I was drowning, and I know a lot of Americans can identify with this. You just feel like you're overworking. You working too many hours a day. Then you're not having. You come home, you get food, and then you go to bed, watch a little TV, and that cycle starts over and over again. And then if you drive, you're stuck on traffic, and it just seems like life was repeating. It's like Groundhog's Day, the same thing over and over again. So I just started doing research online on following YouTubers, just kind of typing in traveling abroad solo, because I traveled solo. I did all this on my own. Too many family members were and friends were like, no, you don't know abroad, don't do it by yourself. And I knew many people had to do it. So when I started YouTubing, searching on YouTube, I started finding that there were a lot of people, especially women, that were traveling solo. And so I just started following them. And as I followed them, I realized that, once you get past that fear and get to Europe, Europe is safe. I know now because I've been traveling for 5 years. So I don't know if I should start with the story of how long now I've been traveling. And then I'll get back to my first time out. But I've been out here for 5 years since 2015. I left in 2015. I went home briefly in 2016 for 1 year, and not 1 year, I'm sorry, not 1 year, for 1 month in 2016, 1 month, 1.5 month. And just from being gone for 1 year, I mean, yeah, for that whole time of 2015, I felt kind of culture shock, reverse culture shock going back home, because I had experienced that quality of life. I had experienced just, how soon as I started living in Europe, a lot of like my shoulders started relaxing. I just felt it. It was just weird how relaxed I felt, low stress. And even though it was still a new culture, I felt it. And so after being here for so long, everybody's relaxing, they're not rushing to do everything. And then I went home and it was like snap right back into that. So that's when I knew it's a big difference than living in Europe and in the USA. And I hear that same with Asia. I've never lived in the Asian countries, but I hear that with my friends who live there, because they teach English, in the Asian countries, and I hear it's the same thing. But I can only vouch for me being here. Okay. Oh, Camille, you're here. Finally, people. She said, yes, so true. Yeah. So and Camille and I met today. Actually, I think I was telling Atawa about that, about how we met. Yes, she's from Chicago, and we're actually coincidentally in the same area in Portugal, like not even 5 minute walk away from each other. So we met for coffee today, and she's here in Portugal, in Lisbon, like I just said, near me, and decided to come on her own, like I did. So she's brave like me. We call it brave, but it's not just brave. You just get tired and you just do it. So it's not really brave, because actually it's bold, of course, but it's something we need to do for ourselves, because it's actually safer here in Europe than it is in the United States. It really is. Right, Camille? Don't you feel safe? Oh yeah, Blair. Okay, Blair. Oh, I lived in the Netherlands for 2 years after college, but I was an au pair. Oh yeah, I wanted to do that. So I didn't have a real job or a visa to stay. I also spent a year in China, which wasn't for me. Yeah, China, it's not for me. I was offered a lot of teaching jobs there too, but I'm just not a China girl. Moved to Colombia in January, but came back to the U.S. once the pandemic hit. Life is much more free in Europe. It is. That's so true. And I was in Croatia, guys, for the pandemic when it first hit. And I knew, because I had already been traveling, living abroad for like 5 years almost. So I knew not to go home when it hit. I knew we would handle it worse than Europe was, because as Blair would know, that Europe is more relaxed. They tend to follow rules a little bit better. It's more in control. And as Americans, we always grow up to think that America is better and that we're going to handle everything better. We're more ahead of the curve than all other countries. And that's not true. It's a lot of countries way ahead of us. We may be ahead in, technology and certain things like that, but when it comes to social system, when it comes to, school, education, all the things that matter, not material things. We're ahead in materialism, but we're not ahead in things that matter. Education is free for citizens. They have universal health care, which is free. Paid vacation, paid holiday vacation, that's mandatory. It's a must. All those things that they have and they take for granted once I tell them about how the US is. And a lot of my European friends are like, what? No paid holiday? How's that? They couldn't fathom it, right? Yes, the US has its own issues. The quality of life is very bad. That's true. And I don't like to seem like I want people to think that I'm bashing the US because I'm American. We all are. Most of us who do this are Americans, and it's it's the truth. Once we see the truth, and then once you know better and you do better, and so you start living abroad. Let's see, Camille, what she said. The US has okay. We read that. I mean, you start living abroad, whether it's Portugal, Vienna. I lived in so many. Oh, finally, we got another person. I'm sorry, guys, that you guys had to come late and we had to figure out the audio problems. Let's see what time it is. And I'm trying not to waste too much time, but I want to also address all your questions. Um, yeah, and Atawala, I hope I pronounced it, Atawala. She's on here as she helped me with the audio, so you might have seen me get off. She's on here as Y Everett, so that's my friend, and she helped me with the audio. So bear with me when I'm trying to read some of your comments. You said money is not worth it. Yeah, that's true. We had no vacations and work all the time, barely having time to connect with people. That's so true. We make plans to make plans and never really connect with each other. That is so true. And it's so true that we get used to it in the United States. I'm from California, so a lot of times with that situation, I get caught in the same cycle. I'm an outgoing person, love doing things, and you want to meet up with people. And then you'll say, okay, let's meet after work for lunch. And then you'll say, okay, I got to go home and change. And then you get home, and then your friend calls with, oh, traffic is so bad right now. Girl, let's do it tomorrow. That's the cycle we get caught up in because the quality of life is bad because we have so much traffic. So it takes you have to rearrange your time around how much traffic you have. Or if you have kids, if they got you got to get home and get them situated. Once they're situated, then you got to figure out how we're going to get there, how long it's going to be going to sit in traffic, and then expensive. You get to a bar, they want to charge you thousands, not thousands, but it feels like thousands of dollars. You get charged an arm and a leg just for a simple, cocktail, and then everybody's on the clock. I got to get home. I got to get home now. It's just the way we are. And there's living abroad is because it's a culture, it's not like that. They like Camille and I were out and she was still shocked about how we sat in a hotel lobby having an espresso for over 2 hours. No one bugged us. We just you drank our coffee and talked, and they were minding their own business. That's the way it is in Europe because they value quality of life. They value leaving you alone and having your time. And you know i've I've gotten so used to it that I forget. I just go in a place, buy some coffee, or sometimes you don't even have to buy anything. You can just, go and sit or bring your laptop like I do sometime to do work, and they won't bother you. They'll ask you want to order something, and usually I'll say an espresso, and then I'll sit there for 4 hours and I'll work. No one bothers you because they're doing the same thing outside. They're sitting out, enjoying the weather. It's just great. It's a great experience, and you start to feel a lot of that pressure go down, and then you want that for life. You start realizing now this is how you're supposed to live. And I'll address the money thing too, because a lot of they say, yes, I was waiting for someone to kick us out. They do that. Yeah, in the US you get kicked out if you're sitting there and you're not ordering back to back. They want that table so there's someone else can sit there. And that's just not a thing because it's a culture here. The culture is about family, the culture, and they don't even know that because that's all they know. As Americans, it's different for us. We have the hustle and grind, and that's our culture. Theirs is people first. That's why, it took me a while, and a lot of people who move abroad that's from the US, you go in a grocery store and it may take you a long time to get what you need because the cashiers are going to take their time. They're going to make sure they put the stuff in the bag, or if you bag it, they'll wait. Yeah, everybody's waiting for you to bag because you bag your own things, you bag your stuff, and no one's pushing you off to the side like, go, 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 we got other. You're in the grocery store, they wait, and you're in line, you see the person bagging their stuff and taking their time, and the cashier is going to wait until it's done. So you got to practice hurry up and wait, you know and after a while you get used to it because it brings your blood pressure down. Why you're in a hurry? There's no hurry to be had here, you know and so it's so good. It's such a good feeling. Okay, questions, guys. Any questions? Let me see. You have a question. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm open because I feel like I'm rambling. Because this, live started so late, and I wish I would have had more people because of all of this. But okay, you can ask me questions about because as you all know, right now I'm in Portugal. I've actually traveled 29 other countries. I've lived in five. Okay, so let's see. Ask a question. Had a question. Okay, you asked a question. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. So I'll just talk until I see. Did you see? Did you have a question already? You asked and I didn't see it. Money is not worth it. Okay, now we read that. Am I? Let me scroll. Okay, I didn't miss anything. Okay, let's see. Are there? Okay, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see. I had to scroll down. Are there any particular countries that? Okay, are there any particular countries that stand out for you as far as quality of life? Yes, I can answer that. And you mentioned you would detail online jobs. I will do that too, and a few videos, but I didn't see them. I didn't. I decided to do the live instead of detailing the online jobs because it just would have took too much time. But I'm gonna also do another one where I'm gonna list more, but I'm gonna talk about them in this one too. Okay, so to answer Camille's question, is there? Oh, is that yeah? Camille's question: is there any particular country that stands out? Okay, yes. As far as quality of life, I will say, and this is just being honest, all of Europe has a better quality of life. There's some that's better than others. For me, after traveling around, I think obviously, even though it's more expensive, Switzerland, when I was there, good quality of life. Of course, Vienna has good quality of life. Here in Portugal, they stand out for me. In Croatia, because I was on a lockdown for 5 months in Croatia. They have great quality of life. But when you think about quality of life, depending on where you are, you also have to think about the living wages for the people. We don't really have to live if you're working online, which I prefer that you all do, and that I'm going to recommend doing that because it's just plentiful. It's so many online jobs you can do. You don't have to worry about the as far as the low wages that some countries get. Oh, and Italy, I left Italy out too. Italy is one of the best places. Rome and Florence and Milan is a good place, but you have a lot of little other towns like Genoa. Those are great quality of life. But I'll mention Croatia. I'll mention um, Budapest, and also where else? Here, Portugal, the people they don't get paid much, which means the cost of living is cheap for us. It's really cheap here, and is more expensive here in Portugal than it is in Croatia and also Poland. And Poland is a different story because you have to really. I wouldn't recommend Poland at first because it would be too much of a culture shock because it's so different. They're not used to seeing different types of people, even though they're amazing people. But I wouldn't use that as my first destination. But it's an amazing country, and it's very very reasonable in prices. Great, thanks. I'm very interested in online jobs. Okay, we'll talk about that too. And so online jobs are the best because if you live in the countries like here in Croatia and all that, You won't have to worry about getting a job and all that, or looking for a job, because they're not going to give a job to outsiders before they give them to the locals, because they need work so much. Countries like Croatia, the wages are low for a lot of for the citizens, so they leave and they go to other countries. Same with Budapest and Prague, and here in Portugal, the wages are 700 a month, for people who work here. But in those places that have low wages for their natives, which is kind of sad in a way, it's cheap for us to live in, and we get a good quality of life, because even though they get low wages, they don't scrimp on anything as far as your lifestyle. They have amazing restaurants, as they have good insurance, life insurance. They still have all of that. That's why they're not the ones who stay. They stay because it's not important that they make a lot of money. What's important to them is quality of life, and they get that. So because they have amazing insurance, they have free education. They have what else? They have health care for his children. Is all of that paid vacation. So the quality of life is good for them. And a lot of times in the countries where they're not making a lot of money, it's a battle between if they want to make a lot of money or if they want to stay for quality of life. You have places like the Netherlands and France and Paris, where I live, it's a little more expensive. Quality of life is still amazing. But as an online worker, you can choose these places too. I love Amsterdam, and Paris is not as expensive as people think, depending on where you come from. I'm from California. The whole world is cheap to me compared to California and New York. So if you live in an expensive state, or places like New York and California, even Chicago, Boston, Europe is cheap for you. It's cheap. I stay in Airbnbs while I'm traveling, and they're basically apartments. That makes it even better because every apartment, even if it's not an Airbnb in Europe, is furnished. All of them come furnished. Your Airbnb is furnished, everything's furnished. And with an Airbnb, it's easier when you start off to decide to move. Get an Airbnb, you rent it for the first week or two, and then the owners are used to this. Then you reach out to the owners or whoever manages the Airbnb on the Airbnb site, and you say, I want to stay longer, and can we work out a better deal? And that's what I usually do. You get a better deal, and my rent now is under 700 a month for everything. And I'm in the tour not a touristy, but I'm in the city center. Everything, when you have an Airbnb, Wi-Fi is included, electricity is included. Sometimes most of them have at least a washing machine inside. Everything you need is in the apartment. You don't need anything else. $600 a month. Never in my lifetime have I paid $600 a month living in California. Okay, so that's that. So as far as what stands out for me, Portugal is a good place. But as far as where I'd like to live and good quality of life, Vienna is amazing also, but it gets cold, it doesn't get that cold. Italy is another one. So if you have an online job, you can choose in between these countries. For me, is great. Even when I visited Switzerland, Switzerland, Zurich, I was surprised at how the cost of living was it was more expensive than all the rest of the European countries, but it wasn't really that bad because I found rent for under $1,000. Great. It wasn't a huge apartment, but it was big. And then what made it cheaper was the food's cheaper, and transport is like crazy everywhere, the best and amazing. That's another difference between Europe. Most of Europe have great transportation. You don't need a car, so that cuts out also some of your expenses. Okay. And the other questions about online jobs. Well, I started off, and I still do. I teach English to adults online. And I see you said English teaching jobs. I'm CELTA certified. Yes, so that's great because I have my TEFL, which is like CELTA, and that's all you need. That's all you need. And sometimes you don't need that. It depends on what teaching site you are using. If you're a native English speaker, which, if you're from America, Canada, New Zealand, native speaking countries, Australia, that's considered native. So you automatically get hired based on that. You don't even if you have a degree on some of them, you need a bachelor's degree. A lot of them you don't. You just need either a TEFL or a CELTA, and being a native. And the reason why that's lucrative, and it's one of those, this is a job that you should, consider, is because they pay well. Usually it's 25, at the low $20 an hour, but you can get paid up to $50 an hour teaching English online with these companies. One of the companies I work for is Palfish, and those are there's Chinese students. I work for Verbaling, Verbaling.com. That's another one where I set my own prices. I wrote them down. I work for Amazing Talk, which is another online platform, and I set my own prices with them. Then I work for a company called Tutlo, with my Polish students, and that one doesn't pay as much, but it's like always something on the side to do when you want to just bump up your income. Plus, I also have an e-commerce store that I started right before I started traveling in 2015. I started e-commerce store, and so I was kind of still building that. And I changed it up in the middle of last year. I changed the name and all of that. So now I'm rebranding. But when I first started, let me see if you guys, when I first started this e-commerce store, I was surprisingly making money from that too. And that one was called A Neat Stuff for Wanderlust. And now mine is called T Loves Travel. And it's mostly travel products, things that you can buy, just, for your travels. But I'll go into that. Anyone can do e-commerce also. But teaching English online, I have three different companies that I actively work for now, and those are the ones I mentioned. I'll maybe on the next one, I'll put all the links underneath this, or I'll leave another video with all the links of the companies. Also, there's companies that you can get all these jobs from, which is how I got them. And one is called, I have them all listed down, that I use, called ESL. Let me type it in here. It's called ESL. And this one, you can go and look for different online teaching jobs, but I'll also have my referral link. ESL Job Lounge is called. Okay. And you can .com. And then there's also the one I use is called Dave's ESL. And these are for Cafe. They have resources for all the online jobs too. And then the ones I work for. So I'll list those in the just you know what I'll do? I'll make another video kind of like this. It won't be live, but I'm gonna do another live too, and one day. But I'll arrange for the time again. But I'll make another video with the links to the ones I work for and my referral. How about that? My referral link to, that's way it's easier for you to get seen when you have a referral link from someone. Okay. Pineapple. I see. Is that pineapple? I know that LA. Yes. Hi. I'm on. I finally on. Any questions? Questions. Okay. What else? Yeah, because I actually have a list of them here in front of me. All the ones that I work for. Oh, Ingu. I forgot about that. I work for Ingu. That's another one. That one pays $26 an hour, and I work probably about 5 hours, maybe 5 hours a day, maybe 3 days a week with them, because I have other ones that I work for too. But I essentially work every day, even on Sundays, teaching English. But it's so easily. You make your own schedule. Because the cost of living is high, it's so cheap in Europe, cheaper than the US. You can, when I first started, you can definitely make it. I was making under 2,000 a month and still living well, in Europe, still had no problem. And then I was using, which I still do now, my travel insurance. Travel insurance is like, I think it's $16 a month, and it covers everything. But you can, with your visa, when you apply for a visa here, you can tap into whatever they have here, whatever. I haven't looked into it for Portugal, but I heard it's great. and then the one when I was in Croatia was good. I went for free. So there's all kinds of good things about living here, other than just quality of life. It's cheaper to live. You're less stressed because you don't need to have so much money. The food's cheaper. The food's fresh. What travel insurance? I can't. I don't know it off. Let me look on my phone offhand. But right now, I do notice because I try to refer my niece to using it, or my cousin, not my niece, to using it, and they had put travel insurance on hold because of pandemic. So now a lot of them are you not registering new people because of COVID. So I don't know if that one will be open, but I will leave that one as well. You say, how are you able to apply for a residency if you're teaching online? Okay, because they have different visas now, residency visas, and now they have one, but not now, but they've had it for a while, called D7, and that one is for remote workers. So they have, because this is a whole big thing now. It's so many remote workers out here that was here before I even started. And it's going to even be more after pandemic, because a lot of people are going to realize that the companies are doing great with them working from home. So now you're going to have even more remote workers coming abroad, because I get those questions from those people who are at home working. They may be single, and their company decided it's okay for them to work from home, and now they're finding out that they can work from anywhere. So now there's going to be even more. But to answer that question is yes, they have I think it's D7, but I'll double check, and a visa, I mean, a residency that you can apply for. Also, Camille, you can attest for this. This is the one you can, as a student, you can apply as a student taking language classes, and you can get the student visa too to start off. And then once you get your online thing going, then you can apply for the D7. Because I don't think it's a whole lot from what I understand, but they just want to know, see that you have the job, a list showing that you had income coming from that job, kind of proof of it, but it's not a whole lot. Even from what I read, because the cost of living in the salary for your common person is $600, $700. That's all they expecting you to show that you make to live here, is at least $700 or more. Okay, let's see. How are you able to apply for residency? Okay, you did that one. Yes, transportation, that's the best. It's so easy. I came on a student visa. Yeah, D2. So Camille's on D2. And was it, Camille? Was it easy to do? I don't want to put you on the spot, but was it? Because it's a lot of people are going to want to try that, and I think it's just when you're learning the language, it's kind of that. It's not like okay, good, okay, and it's not the one where you're studying your bachelor's program or anything like that. I think it's you're in school to learn language, and so that's still a student, and so you can get a visa based on that. Is that right, Blair? You get the visa even though you're learning a language. You're still a student. That's still a student visa, correct? Visa D2. Yeah, I think that's perfect too. Let's address fear, because a lot of people are let me read this. Yes, you just need to show income and find a school that will give you a declaration of proof to study. Okay, so do you have, if people are coming to Portugal or Lisbon, which do you, Camille, recommend a school? Can you leave it in the comments or in, yeah, the live chat, which school you recommend, and then they can kind of go online and look it up too, if you can kind of leave it. And proof of income, would it just, does that mean how a certain amount in your account, or proof that you can pay for the class? Because I haven't done that, because I was doing the, what we call tourist visa on my, using my passport, 3 months here and 3 months there. And that worked for me because I liked moving from different country to country. But now, because of the pandemic, I'm longer term in some places. So, you know, I run the risk of overstaying my tourist visa, because we can only stay 3 months in the Schengen zone, and that's a whole nother issue. But now I'm deciding I'm going to just stay longer in Portugal because of COVID and all of that. Okay. Did you, Camille? Did you leave another message? Let me scroll down again. Okay, no. Um, yeah. So basically, if you want to, let's see. Yes, it was proof of income for the year. Okay. Okay. So yeah, proof of income for the year. That I don't know how much they want, but that's easily done because I did that when I was in Poland and I was going to apply for their residency visa. I ended up changing my mind, but they just wanted my bank account showing how much I had. I think it was 1,000 at that time. It wasn't like a lot like some countries say. If you're buying property and you're thinking about doing something like that or renting long term, they may want more in there. If you want to say, I want to do a contract to rent for a year or rent for with 6 months or whatever, some places may ask for a certain amount in your account. So it depends. But I never have that problem at all, you know. So I just in the beginning, I recommend, okay, let's see. Yes, your banking. Do you own different bank accounts in different countries or just American bank? No, I own different banks now. Yeah. I have one bank in the USA, and then I also have a bank that I opened up in 2018, 2 years ago, in Poland. When I was living in Poland, I opened up, which so happened to be a Portuguese bank, Millennium Bank, which is Portuguese, so it's here in Portugal too. And so I've had it for 2 years. So and it's just easier because you don't get charged. And it was easy. I opened it up in Poland. I just need my passport and money, you know, to put in there. Yeah. So it was So it was really easy. So now I have both. So from my online income, I have it go straight from the company. They'll send it to your PayPal account. From your PayPal, then I know you laugh. Then you move it to your bank account. And it's better to move it to a European bank account because you won't get charged those fees because you're already in Europe. So it's coming right here, to your European bank account. Because even though you may be getting paid in US dollar, which all of them do, they either pay you in US dollar or euro, depending on the company, but it's all of them are mostly US dollar. They are based abroad, these companies are, so the money is coming from abroad. So if the money comes from abroad and it goes to your US bank, you get charged those fees. They take fees out. But if you already have a European bank account, and it's coming from abroad in Europe somewhere or even Asia, it there's no fees being charged. So that's the best way to do. So it's best to, when you get here, open up, or if you're going to go to Portugal or wherever in Europe you want to go, find out how you as an American can open up. Oh, you're welcome. I see your hearts. If you can, what it takes to open up a bank account as an American, because they don't, contrary to popular belief, Europeans don't hate Americans. They like us. They hate our politics, but they like us. So if you take the time when you want something, when you move abroad, that's another thing. The culture is so different too. Being that we come from a culture where we want this, now. That has to change. When you come to Europe, as we were talking about early, get ready to kick back and wait for things to happen on their terms. We're in their country, they're not in ours. So learn the basics of their language, like what Camille is doing. Take a course. It shows that you're interested, you're acclimating yourself into the culture, because even though they like us, we do have a reputation for being pushy, obnoxious, and wanting what we want and not wanting to learn the language. And for the most part, that's true, and not to, browbeat Americans because I'm American, but it's true. It is what it is. We come from a culture where we're used to getting what we want. And then we come to another country and we expect them to do things our way. And that's not cool. That's not the way it works. We're in their country and they're the most welcome of people to Americans. They really are. If you're not an a-hole, excuse my language, you have to be able to, you know, assess the situation, look around you at where you're living. If you're in Italy, or if you're in Spain, Spain has siestas. When I was first in Spain, and Camille could probably attest to this, those freaking days. I mean, when at 12 and between 12 and 2, everything shuts down and then no food is open, nothing's open. because they take a break. They believe in sleep and relaxing in midday, and then they open up around 2, 3, or 4, something I can't remember. And you can't get upset about that. That's their culture. And it's the same here in Portugal. They have certain places where they do it too. But when I was in Italy, I mean, not Italy, when I was in Spain, that's when it really clicked to me. I was like, why am I getting upset? This is their country. I can't be like getting mad because I can't find a place to eat, at 12 in the afternoon. You said you started off in Paris. Yes, I did. Are you well versed in French residency? Oh my God. Oh, let's not even. Can you buy property there and stay beyond the extended tourist limit with a D7 visa? Yes, you can stay. I'll answer the last question first. You can stay in Paris. Yeah, Paris is a whole nother ball game, even to Europeans. You can stay in Paris with a D7 visa. I think you get 6 months and then you can extend it. 6 months or a year, and then you can extend it. As far as buying property, that is more difficult. It's not as like it's easier here in other countries like Portugal, Croatia, Prague, and all these places that want European money. I mean, American money. It's easy. French people, although they like us, and it's said that they're snooty and all of this kind of thing, they're not easily readily want to give away their property to Americans like we do to everybody else in America. Anybody can come to America and buy property. Chinese people from all over got a property all over the place in the US. But in Paris and certain European places, Paris is one of them. No, it's not going to be easy to get property. The best way to do that is knowing someone in Paris, knowing a French person, and they can help you through the paperwork and bureaucratic stuff because it's difficult. Even opening up a bank account, you can do it, but they love paperwork. French people, and maybe it's changed now, and I think it will because of the pandemic. They were forced to go online and do a lot of stuff now using the computer. Whereas when I was living there, they loved shuffling paper and looking for stuff. They didn't like doing things computerized. That just wasn't the way they felt. Like it wasn't you're not working if you don't have a stack of paper to go through. And so that just made stuff you fill something out, go home and fill this one out. Oh, that's not enough. You got to It was just so much. And so I kind of gave up because I was trying to stay there for a while too. I was going to stay longer and I kind of gave up. you know yeah, no, Paris is expensive. Yeah. uh Compared to other European countries, it's expensive, but you can find some places. It's Paris, but France has a lot of good places to live. They have, oh my God, the south of France. They have Normandy. They have, oh God, I can't even think right now. That has the best quality. Miss Tina travels. Do you have a favorite country thus for Portugal or Czech Republic? Okay. Do I have a favorite country? Yes, I do. Italy is at the top of the list because of the food, the people, and extreme good quality of life. It's best to live there. If you live there, it's best to have like your own income, like an online job, because they don't, have jobs. The unemployment rate is really high there. They don't get high wages either. For like they get high wages for good jobs that they have, skilled jobs, but just your normal everyday, jobs that that a lot of people do, they get low wages for that. So a lot of them leave and go to other countries, and a lot of them, they stay and they just, they're happy. So I like living there, and I like the fact that I can work online and still have the best quality of life. That's the reason why I say Italy is on the top of the list, is because Italy is one country where you can go and be and feel like you're in several countries, because every Italian country is different. I mean, city is different. Milan, Genoa, Positano, the Amalfi Coast, Rome. Uh, it is so many places, even north of Italy. Um, it's so many different places in Italy you can go that's so different. My friend right now, she's in Tuscany, totally different from Rome. It's beautiful. It's beautiful rural, more rural areas. It's just amazing. The food, 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 the people, people, people. You can just get on a train, Train Italia, and just go all around Italy for cheap, you know. Italy, traveling in Europe is cheap, guys. Anyway, I'll give you, like I told Camille, I came here from Vienna. I was in Vienna. That's another place I do love. But as far as the top of my list is Italy. And then Portugal is second. And then, Vienna, maybe Vienna and Portugal is kind of the same. And then Croatia, which I love too. But, for different reasons. But traveling throughout Europe is cheap, and during a pandemic, it's not happening as much. But even when I came here for Vienna, which was in November, from November, I took Ryanair, which is kind of like the European version of Southwest Air, except better. Where you can just travel within the countries on Ryanair, or Flixbus, which is their local, like kind of like their bus that goes all through Europe. And now I think they have Flixbus in the U.S. But I paid $11.98 to come one way from Vienna, Austria to Lisbon. So that's how much I paid. I actually paid more for my extra luggage, which was only $26, than the actual flight. So that was the total cost, $26 for the extra. Yep. $11.98 from Vienna on Ryanair, from Vienna to Portugal, in no last month. And I paid $26 because my luggage was big, and not big, but it was over the weight. And that was it. So $11 plus, I mean, $12 plus the 26. And that's how much it cost me to get here. But normally, yeah, if you're like, when I would go to Croatia from Vienna, whenever I would be in Vienna, because sometimes, I'll switch up like every 3 months. That's what I was doing last year because I like traveling and being in different countries. So I would be in Vienna, and then I decide after my 3 months, I'm going to go back to Croatia because that's non-Schengen. So you can start all over there. And on a Flixbus, it's 4 hours, a 4 hour Flixbus ride, and that cost me $18 most of the time. Sometimes you can get it cheaper than that. If I went from Vienna to Budapest, which is 2.5 hours away, that was $8 and some change to get to Budapest. So you have a lot of cheap travel within. Even from your furthest point, if I was going from Paris to Italy like I did before, that cost me 69.99 one time from Paris to Italy. And that was you can still find some cheaper. And then I went from Poland to Italy one time for $18 on Ryanair. So, that's why people travel. That's why Europeans are all over the place. They've traveled Europe because they can. These places are close and they're reasonable. Let's just be honest, they're cheap. Yes. Let's see. Are there any other questions for me? I know I'm gonna. Don't forget. I mean, I won't forget that I will leave another video up, maybe on Monday, with the list of all the different online places that you can apply for and the jobs that I work for, as well as referral links that you can click on and immediately start applying for those jobs. And they're easy because all you're doing is you're going to upload a video of yourself talking like this. Hi, I'm Tina. I'm from California and I'm American or whatever. And you can say, I'd love to meet you. They have like little videos on, demo ones that you can look at and show you how to do a video. You upload that, because the reason why I'm encouraging teaching English as a second language is because English is the international language now. Everyone's, doing business, especially now with people working from home because of the pandemic. And they may work, a lot of them work for international companies, and they can't speak each other's language. If you have, like I was telling Camille, if you have someone that lives in China, but he does business with someone in Sweden, they're not going to speak each other's language when they have a meeting. They're going to speak the common language, which is English. So that's where we come in, because a lot of times they know English, but they don't know the correct way to use certain words. They don't know certain business English terms. They don't even know sometimes if they're using are or is, right? Little things like that. It's really not difficult at all. And all the platforms I work for, you don't have to have your own material. It's there for you. They can do free talk and just talk, just to kind of get, used to talking and using their English. Or they can say, oh, I want to do a lesson online. And there it is. You have it all there online for you, from the company. So definitely you don't have to worry about having your own lesson plans, just being a native and speaking, language from with an American or North, like as they say, North American accent. That's basically what they want. Is some companies like VIP Kids? That's an online teaching site where they teach Chinese kids. They require a bachelor's degree, but they pay good money to $25 an hour. So it's companies like that. I worked for them for a short minute. I didn't really like working there that long. I'm teaching. Yes, I'm teaching adults now. I only teach with one website that teach children, and that's Palfish. And I'm only with them because I had some students, 4 students that are my regular, and I didn't want to let them go, even though I stopped teaching for them full time. I don't do that anymore. I kept my 4 students from Palfish that are children because they were my regulars. But all the rest of them that I told you about, all adults. And I teach adults, and they mostly want to do conversational English or business English, and all that stuff is, they have the software. I'm not software. They have the programs online for you already ready for to help them to teach them. So it's not like you have to make your own lesson plan. So yeah, I teach adults only now, except for the 4 students from Palfish. And Palfish was a great starter because that was one of the first online companies that I started working for. It was Palfish and one called Dada ABC. And they were all based in Beijing, and they all had students. Dada ABC paid $22 an hour and Palfish pays 25. And I worked full time with both. So I kind of balanced them where I made, I was working 5 hours, on this one and 4 hours on that one. And I would choose the days of the week because it's in China. You had mostly early morning classes. And what mean by early, I'm in Europe. So early for me is between 10 or 9 in the morning to 2 would be over because these classes with the children, these classes are taught after their school, after their regular school. So it usually starts 6 p.m. Beijing time. And if you're in the United States, that's like really early your time when they start. If they book a class for noon in the afternoon, their time, not noon, I'm sorry. If they book a class for 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. their time, it's going to be like 6 a.m. your time. If they book a lesson for 10, I had some classes 10 p.m. because those children be up learning English late at night. Those parents be on them about their English. So you'll get some. It'll be 10 o'clock their time, and they're still up learning English. And usually that's probably in the U.S. depending on if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast. That's 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning. So that's why unless you're a morning person, I don't recommend starting off when you're in the U.S. with those companies, because you'll be teaching them so early. But when you're in the Europe, you're closer to their time zone. So the earliest you can get up is 10, and you can teach till 2 in the afternoon. And that's what I was doing with Palfish. I was teaching from 10 to 2. And then I had my adult classes where one of the platforms you can teach every day, all day, 24 hours a day. There were students from all over the world that you taught lessons for. So you can work at midnight if you want to, depending on you. This website taught students from Egypt, from Italy, from Saudi Arabia, from all over the world. So the time zones are different. So it depends. Am I talking too loud, guys? I feel like I'm talking loud. I know I have my TV down and I'm echoing. Maybe. Can someone let me know if I'm talking too loud? Mhm. I wish I know we're running on almost an hour. Is everybody getting tired? Okay, no, not too loud. Okay, good. Any more questions? Hi, Bonita. You were the one that's amazing. Are you teaching adults? Yes. Nice. I mean, nice to see the ones who could make it. I apologize again for perfect. Okay, good, good. I apologize again for not being able to figure this audio thing out. I keep saying it's my first live. It is. So I'll do more. Thank you. Okay, so it sounds okay. Sometimes I get all energetic. But any more questions though? Because I know it's going on about an hour, and it's where are you guys? Hey, could we do not roll call, but state and country call? Where is everyone from? Where is everyone living right now? And where would you want to put next to where you living, where you want to go, what country you want to go to. So type where you are now and where you want to go. And then maybe I'll have something. Oh, you Chicago. Oh, okay. Camille is from Chicago. She's here. And we just had coffee today and it was amazing, right, Camille? Georgia, Portugal. Yes, I already know that. Yeah, you're coming here. I'll see you in January, right? You'll be here. Why, Everett? Yeah, I know you. I know you are. Italy, what? Italy? Are you U.S. American in Italy? Or are you Italian? Because you never know. What is this? USA, New. Oh, and North Carolina temporarily, but you're undecided. Yeah, yeah. Just do a lot of research on YouTube on different countries, like I did. Moved from the U.S. to Paris 7 months ago. Okay, so you're in Paris right now. Uh, okay, yes, American. Okay, so you're in Italy. How are you enjoying Italy? Are you planning on staying there, Maria G? But what part of Chicago? Yeah, what part of Chicago? Because Camille, yeah, Camille's from Chicago. Oh, this is fun. I kind of like that. Finding out about everyone else. Let's see. North Carolina. What I think North. I've heard North Carolina is a really beautiful place too. And but you want to visit Portugal, but you're enjoying Italy. And Italy is like, and where did you say you are? You're an American. Where are you from, Maria G? Where are you originally from in America? Did you say? Hmm. Da, 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 da. Blair B, love Portugal. I know it's amazing here. This is my third time. Oh, okay. You're from Denver. My best friend is in Denver. That's good. Well, she's on the outskirts of Denver, but she's there. Okay, let's see. Just moved to uptown from downtown, Camille. Okay. I'm in Chicago. Oh, Denver is amazing, but it's cold. I was there. I was in Denver last year this time. Almost this. I was coming back here from Denver this time because I spent a Thanksgiving with my friend in Denver, in Colorado. Yeah, but are you planning on? Let me see, Camille. Okay. And Maria G, are you planning on staying in Italy? How do you feel about? Are you living there, and how long have you been there? I'm asking you this because a lot of people in the chat, it also inspires them that there's other Americans that are living abroad. And because that's how I started doing this, because you get so many questions about how it's done, and how do you feel about, and where you didn't say in Italy where you were at. Nice, yes, you love it. Where in Italy are you, Maria G? I know if you can type fast enough. I know. Oh, you've been there a few months. And let's see, Camille. Cool, not fair. You got to come here. You got to come here, Benita, too. Florence. Oh my. Wait, hey, this ain't who I think it is it? Maria G. Because I have a friend uh, that's in right now. The weather here is very nice compared to, of course, yeah, yeah. The weather here, by the way, guys, if anyone who lived in California before, this Maria, oh Maria G, is this who I think it is? You say yes. Yes, yes, agree 100%. Yeah, this weather here. Okay, I gotta log into my phone again. Okay. La 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 la. This weather here, the climate and all amazing. So Maria G, is this Lakeisha? Oh, would start with an L. Lakeisha. I don't want to say it out loud. Any preference in terms of living in France versus Italy? Yeah. Oh, Maria G, what do you think? Well, I don't know, Maria. I don't know if she's ever lived in France, but for me, because I actually left Paris when I was in Paris and went to Italy. And then as soon as I got to Italy, I went to Rome, and was in Termini Station. As soon as I came out of Termini Station, which is their main station in Rome, And I walked through and I was carrying my luggage. I think I was telling Camille this. And the first thing I heard was, Bella, buongiorno. And they were yelling at me as I was walking. I just felt so welcome. And, I just felt, I don't know, I felt, what do you call that? Beautiful. It's so, as a woman in Italy, you feel, because of the culture and men loving women and all that kind of thing, you do feel the difference because they really love women and they come at you with all that passion. And so it feels good in the beginning. So as far as me, I do love Italy. Okay, yeah. Um, for me, I would say Italy, if you are planning on long term and you're all about relaxing, and if you got your online job down, you got some income coming in, all that kind of stuff, I would choose Italy over Paris or France. Well, I shouldn't say France, but over Paris, because Paris, even though they have a good quality of life and they love the joie de vivre and they live life well, they still, they have their issues. It's like, is crowded, like, taking line one, which is their main train line. I mean, if you don't live in the city center, you're going to live on the outskirts because it's cheaper. Then you got to take line one, and line one is crowded, and all these doggone Parisians be packed on and they be breathing hard on you and they smell. And I hate to say that, but if some do, that's not a lie. That part's true. It's like they're all crammed into this thing, and they have that kind of, I got to do, quick, quick, quick mentality during the week. And one thing difference with them, on right after work, usually Parisians don't go home. They go to a park and a boulangerie, and they sit out and they have, some wine and relax. They do that after work, which we don't do. They don't have to fight traffic. They have to fight the metro, but once they get off, they can walk down the street, a seventh arrondissement or wherever arrondissement they live in, and have a relaxed whatever. And then on the weekend, that's when they really love life. But as far as if you're trying to have a lower key life and really relax, I would choose Italy over Paris. If you're still on a little bit of a grind and you like that busy, 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 a little bit still, Paris is good. Oh, you're leaving? Who's leaving? Oh, okay. I didn't see, but Mary, any preference in terms of living in France? Okay, let me read up. I do love Italy. Italy is the bomb, though it is. That's you know, I'm leaning toward. Heading out. I enjoyed it. Okay. Oh, bye. Thank you for being here for a little bit and helping out. I know I'm gonna be ending soon, guys. I'm gonna maybe let's see any questions. Decisions, right? I know. Okay, so maybe you can leave in the chat, live chat, and let me know if you want me to give. Now that I figured this, thank you. Thank you guys. This is amazing. So let me know in the live chat if you guys want me to do another one. And now that I figured out the audio, and then I will actually have the list of, we can talk about online jobs specifically. So let me know if you guys want me to schedule another live, maybe next week, and then we can talk about. I can give you the list that I actually have in front of me, and I can leave them in the links, and then we could talk a little bit about each one and what they require. If you want me to, we'll do. And if you didn't get all your questions answered, or you can write down some questions for me. But it's up to you. This live was fun. Okay. So you guys think I should do another one? We have time. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Oh my God. Uh, I'm so glad you guys. Oh, no problem with sharing. I want to share because I was like this when I first came to Europe. You know, I landed in Paris. I was scared. I didn't know anyone. I didn't speak the language. So don't let that bother you, because that's another thing. If you don't speak the language, don't let that scare you, because a lot of them do speak English. And then all you have to do is just ask, and do you speak a little English? And they'll tell you yes or no. You have your translator with you. Just be the most important thing is being polite to when you're in another country, and letting them know, I don't speak the language, but I'm trying. And a lot of them do, and they'll help out. So it's like, don't let any of that fear stuff, I don't speak the language, I'm going to go to a country where they speak English. Don't do that, because truth be told, most of the countries that where they speak English, they have the same quality of life as America, meaning they're on a rush, 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 rush thing. I don't know what that's about, but Australia, even though it's beautiful, all the South Africa and all these, they have their issues. All these English speaking countries have their issues too. Even Canada, Canada's great, but they have a lot of stuff, issues that America have. So, don't let other countries that don't speak English scare you, because that's a small problem that you can get over. Okay, so you guys want me to schedule another live. Okay. Okay, ciao. Okay. Excuse guys. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I am so glad you guys were able, excuse me, to make it. I had that hiccup, with the live, and maybe I can save this. Yeah, I'll figure that out too, how to save it. And, people who didn't get a chance to see it, you know, they can see it. And this was my first live. I felt stupid in the beginning, but you guys stayed in there with me. I'm wearing my glasses too. It's all serious when I'm wearing my glasses. But yeah, so I will definitely um, leave. I see I'm sweating now. Sorry, guys. Okay, so what I'll do, oh, no problem. It's like, this has been a good experience, even though I was seriously stressed, guys. So I'm here. Let me put these back on. I'm here. Let me read it. Okay. Obrigado. Yes. Obrigado. Obrigado. I'm learning. That's good too. You're doing good. Obrigado is, I think it's O if it's a guy and if it's a girl. So obrigada and obrigado. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm going to sign out and right now. And what I'll do is, now that I've got this figured out, my audio is working. And yes, there it is. Obrigada. And I said, Camille. And I'll see you, Camille, on Monday. We're going to go some places. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I don't know if you already do. Follow me on the Tina Williams Travels, and it's spelled with a T, like this, TEE, same way. So you can follow me on there. I'll be having, updates on everything we're doing here in Portugal, too. So follow me on there. And then also out on my Instagram, you can click on my store, T Loves Travel, and this is it. And check out my products. That's my T Loves Travel. I'm not gonna put .com because it might come up. You could check on T Loves Travel uh, in the bio, and check out my travel store. It has merchandise in there, kind of the things that are great for helping you travel, and that's my e-commerce store. You can do that too. So bye guys. I know I see you all going. Ciao, and thanks again, and stay tuned. Actually, click the notification. I think that's how it works. I know you're already subscribed, but click the notification, because in that way you'll get notified that I'm going, that when I'll have the live ready, when I'll be going live again. Okay, and it should be next week sometime. Okay, guys. And thank you for hanging in there with me. It's my first live. Yoo-hoo! And you guys have a good day or good night wherever you are. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again. And I guess I'm going to say bye to you guys, and good night. Ciao, ciao. Bye, guys.